Hi folks, hope you've all been keeping well. Haven't had as much time as I would have liked recently to do the miniature painting, but I've managed to do these over a course of 2 weeks, I think it's been. I've done some Germans in winter gear and uniform as well, but I haven't done the webbing and things on them. I've finished the bases though, so I didn't want to show those. I don't really like showing things that aren't completely finished. Like, I could say that these were finished last week, but then I wanted to varnish them and base them. These guys have had loads of coats of varnishes because at every step I kind of wanted to preserve what I'd done, or after highlights then I might varnish them again. I think the major thing is with metals I do like to do gloss and matte, because I don't like gloss varnish as it is, but it is hard wearing, which is a very good thing, especially if you're going to be gaming a lot with them. So yeah, the sheen has been taken off these now. I really like these. Some old bolt action sculpts by Paul Hicks. Really like the poses. I suppose you could almost call them like a stereotypical German infantryman. They're very plain, but sometimes that's what you want. The ones in winter gear, I tend to only want to use them for a winter themed campaign. Even looking at him now, I haven't done his camo, what's it called now? Zeltbahn there. I haven't painted him, so I have to. You know what? I might not bother. Who's going to see that? But yeah, he should have these Zeltbahns. You can often see them rolled up on the back of miniatures for the Germans. And for this fella, I've attempted a splinter camo, and it's called something else. It's plain tree, is it? It's the one with two dark green lines running through the uniform. It might only be for Fallschirmjäger, so I might have painted him up wrong, but I wanted to have a go at the camo scheme anyway. You might just be able to pick up the dark green lines. But yeah, fairly happy with him. Come out quite nicely. He's the only one who's head to toe in gear. And there's this fella. So yeah, basically just painted up a section. And just spent some time on the skin tone, but I'm pretty set in my ways with doing skin now. I've tried not using Cadian flesh tone, but I've gone back to it because I really like how it comes out. But I use a Bugman's Glow first, which is, you can use something like Vallejo's Saddle Brown. That's a nice dark beginning, and then I just gradually, I think there's like 5 highlights in the skin on these. And by the end, you really want to be adding some of Vallejo's light flesh. Yeah, this is my first Panzerschreck. I think it's German Camo Beige, the actual Panzerschreck itself, but I might be Middlestone, I can't remember off the top of my head now. That's a nice piece. That's just 2 figures. Yeah, some of Paul Hicks's old Germans. You can't get these anymore. So I'm really glad that I've got them. I'm just mad on his sculpting, basically, because I was just trawling through the Empress website the other day, and no matter what the time period is, it just kind of captures me just by the actual sculpting. Because I was looking at the New Zealand Wars range with the Maori, and it hadn't even occurred to me before. Now I want to collect them. This one's my favourite just because he's just in a really straightforward pose, but yeah, just really enjoy doing some, I suppose, bog standard Germans. Yeah, there's nothing tricky about painting them up, but I have Saying that, I have missed out the gunmetal. I haven't gone gunmetal. I could have gone back in with black grey, but I think I'll just leave it. They look nice and subdued. Some of them have Panzer Shreks. So yeah, another section done there. I suppose the last one I'd like to show would be him reaching for another clip of ammo. So yeah, if you see these in bring and buy or second hand, definitely pick them up. They paint up as nice as they did when they came out, I'm sure. Well, that's about it for now, folks. There were two fellas in sort of winter gear, but I peeled those off because I didn't think they were suitable. For the rest of the section, they'll be in my sort of Ardennes and Eastern Front force then. Yeah, that's what I've done. I actually have been doing quite some sculpting. You will have seen the sprue soldiers, but those are cut off at the waist, shall we say. But I've tried making some sprue soldiers with legs, and it's been a bit tricky and fiddly, but I'm trying to get around. I'm using green stuff as the skeleton, so that's over like paper clip wire, but I'm going to buy brass wire and make my own armatures. That's the next step, really. And I'll be using green stuff to pad it out. It's nice and sticky and sticks to the wire. Procreate or grey stuff is less sticky, and that's kind of going to be the final layer. That's what Paul Hicks uses to sculpt, and I think his sculpting has basically inspired me to give it a go. And it's definitely going to take some time though, because I know it's like, you know, it's like picking up painting again, a new skill, isn't it? Because when I was starting out with these, it's taken me some 2 or 3 years to get to this level, just to be, you know, a solid painter. So it's going to take me quite a lot of time, but as with all things, it's just keeping at it and doing your best, I suppose. I'm looking forward to being able to make my own sculpts, shall we say. I'm not sure if maybe I'll just build them and then prime them and paint them myself and see how that goes. But yeah, that's on the cards. I don't have much time on my hands, but definitely enough to do bits and pieces in the evening. So yeah, that's about it for now, folks. I won't drag it on any longer, and see you all again soon. Ta-da.